Okay, hi everybody. I'm Sean Dukes, I'm from Learn Smarter, and I'm here today to talk to you about managing data visibility in a Salesforce community. So I'm guessing you're all developers, everyone knows what a Salesforce community is, right? So I don't need to explain that to you. But what I do want to do is I want to talk about obviously one of my hobbies instead. So I'm a big Kvefi lover, and there's this great website I go to where I can find out all about Kvefi. I can buy really cool stuff, a nice tie, and also get a subscription, because I actually subscribe to this website. So I've got an annual subscription, and I notice here when I go to the website, it's like, wow, that's really cool. I can get a, you have to excuse me, I'm on the wrong one, but never mind. So we'll go to that one, but it looks the same. So that's really cool, and I've got an annual subscription. I can renew my annual subscription. It's actually about to run out, and I'm quite tempted by the 20% off. I don't know much about this, but apparently it's built on something called the Napili template, whatever that is. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, hang on a second, look at that. That's force.com, isn't it? Wonder what happens if I do that. So what's interesting here is that within my community, all my views are nicely displayed here. So I can see a view, for example, of all my accounts, and I can see every account within the database. It's quite useful. And I can go into a particular account, and I can see the record for that account, and I can edit it, which is awesome. So that's pretty cool. So this is essentially, if you have a community and you don't think that sharing matters very much, this is what you'll end up with, right? So clearly you're not going to do this. You're going to set your sharing up, essentially make everything private, and then you have a sharing set. So the sharing set will essentially enable then people to see the things that you want them to see again, but not obviously the things that you don't. So I could show you how to do that, but it would take me far too long. So in true Blue Peter style, here is one I prepared earlier. So this one has a little bit better sharing set up on it. So let's have a look at this one. And you can see here, it's still the same. I can still get to the recent items view, and I can actually see some other views as well. But if I go into, for example, all accounts, I can now only see my account, right? And if we go on a little bit further, we can do the same kind of thing for contacts. So contacts quite cool. I can see a list of contacts here. And if I change this view here, this is interesting, a view of difficult customers. And I'm in it. That is interesting, isn't it? So let's have a look at that, and let's see what information they're holding about me. So I can come in here and I can see this thing, and I can see Pitter rank. I don't know what that is, but that's quite considerable. That sounds good. And my renewal date there. You'll notice that there's this time they've taken the edit button off the page layout, so I can't edit this record. But then, to be honest, if you've got a keyboard, who needs one of those? So let's see if we can just edit that record. Excuse me. Hopefully as developers you all know how to do this. Not giving away any secrets. So here we go. I can get into the edit view of that record, right? Now this is really good fun because I have unlimited Kvefi forever, right? So I think we might just change that. We'll go to maybe 2019, and I don't know what a Pitter rank is, but I think mine should be higher. So I'm going to go higher, and I'm going to save it. So there we are. So that's a kind of an illustration. Okay, the invalid page doesn't mean I've got anything wrong. It just, obviously they didn't build the community for me. So going back to the presentation there, that does illustrate what can happen if you don't really think too carefully about your community. So what we've got here is, sorry, go back a bit. What we've got here, it isn't like the biggest hole in Salesforce. This is essentially, what I've shown you here is exactly what it says will happen if you read the help file. Now I'm assuming most of you haven't. So a quick summary for you, a quick process, right? So do not assume anything except this, that any community user can see and do anything that your sharing settings allow, right? That's basically it. So just a few things that you can do, and in fact that you must do if you have a community. Firstly, clearly you've got to get your sharing right. That's really, really important. You need to set your profiles up right down to field level access and stuff like that. You know, not basically all these things. Visualforce pages as well. One thing that's quite cool, if you do have custom objects and you have a standard Visualforce page and you don't put that in the community profile, then they're just not going to see that record anyway. But if they can see the record, then obviously if you've got a page layout, it's really important to make sure that page layout shows what you want it to show, because everything on it could potentially be available. And then the list views. List views are a bit of a gotcha, because if you've been running your Salesforce org for quite a long time, and you've created list views that you kind of share with them everybody, then they will probably be available to everybody in your community as well. So you just think about that. And that's it really. So I think that there is a lot more you can do, by the way. So if you really get into this, there's a lot more you can do to actually really lock down the community. There's something in the metadata API. I don't understand anything about it, but there are people here who do. So there's a lot more you can do, and you can actually go a lot further, and you can really, really lock down the back end of your community. But essentially that is the message. So communities, assume nothing and you'll be fine. Thank you very much.